Celebrating failures as an important step in coaching children towards resilience and creation. Hey, this is Moni Singh, an engineer, a creator, a mother, and a lifelong learner. Many people know me as Miss STEM, the founder of the STEM for Kids movement. I created this channel to help you raise your children, your students, for success in this ever transforming world laced with increasing digital influence. You watch these videos because you know that there's something more inside your kids. They got the Elon Musk type of talent hidden inside them. If you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button, and I share regularly, and as a subscriber, you have access to the practical tips, tools, and resources to raise resilient creators. Today, we are going to focus on dealing with failures. What does that mean in the context of raising resilient creators for this ever transforming digital world? And as we saw before, thriving in the new world involves creation. We are inspiring and encouraging kids to go make something, build something based on whatever they're learning. And as you all know, whenever there's a creation involved, there are failures, which are part of that process. I remember talking with a neuroscientist, and he was describing that 90%, 90% of their experiments fail. Now imagine such a high rate of failure and think about what that does to us, to our psyche. We are adults, and when we hit roadblocks, when we see failures, what happens? The immediate reaction is emotional, right? We get frustrated, saddened, disappointed, angry, ashamed. You are so excited about getting something done, making something, and then all of a sudden you hit this roadblock. Not what you expected. Typically, in our professional lives or even in our personal lives, we see what's called a BCD reaction. It's either B for blaming others, or C for complaining about the tools or the environment, anything or everything that we can complain about. And lastly, D for defending yourself. No, not my fault. I did everything, but these other external factors messed it up for me. So you get into that BCD mode, and that's an emotional reaction to any kind of failure, roadblock, or adversity. Now that's us, right? We are supposed to be the older, mature people. And if that's what we go through, think about the little kids, the youngsters, the 5-year-old, the 10-year-old, the 15-year-olds who are going and stumbling through these roadblocks in their journey of creating something. Of course, when they see these failures, they are getting similar kinds of reactions. Not a great feeling to have. So when you are coaching, you do have to find ways to help children deal with those dips because they are going to happen. And the more the child is prepared for that, the more he or she is able to tackle those adversities. Now, we all know that that's what life is all about. So, coping with adversities is an important life skill, whether they are in school or out or done with school completely and entering adulthood. So, now the question is, how do you do that? How do you prepare them for failures, for adversities? The first part is to set expectations. Now, if you're a teacher, you begin any class by setting rules, behavioral expectations, and rewards and consequences. If you are a parent, maybe in a less formal way, but you still have some rules that you're expecting the children to follow. So, in school or out of school, said or unsaid, we have expectations of our children, and these are the behaviors that you're expecting. And you might say to them, I'm expecting this from each one of you. And if you don't show me this behavior, here are the consequences. On the other hand, if you do show me all these good behaviors, then here are the awards that you get. Similar to this, you do need to set upfront expectations with the children that failures will happen. Now, here is one way that you can do that. Hey, kids, who knows what is 1 plus 1? And you let the children shout out their answer. Remember we talked about the inquiry-based approach? So yeah, you can even make this a Q&A session. So let them shout out the answer. 2. Ask again, what is 1 plus 1? Of course, the answer is 2 again, right? It's easy, isn't it? You get this right because you know it already. When we are trying to learn something new, to make something, things are different. There's a lot that we don't know. And we are trying to figure those out. So when we are creating something, you may hit roadblocks in that process of creation. And when that happens, you may feel low in energy, you may feel angry, disappointed, ashamed, stuck, frustrated, many other types of feelings that you may not like. So kids, what are some other kinds of feeling you feel that you don't like? Right? I mean, you can again engage them in some discussion here. Now, first of all, know that when you get a problem while creating, it's normal. So you're normalizing that. Okay, it's very important. What you feel when that happens is also normal. So not only encountering a problem is normal, but what you feel when that happens is also normal. And I know it because I've gone through so many creations in life, and many times things don't go the way I want them to. Starting a new project, we get so excited. It's like imagine a balloon, the one that's filled with helium gas. So when we're excited, it's like, we are a balloon and there's helium gas and we are able to float up. Super excited, floating higher and higher. But then when it doesn't work, what we're trying to do, when we're trying to create something, it doesn't work like the way we were imagining it to be. It's almost like that balloon that was floating higher and higher up is now entangled in a tree and a stem just punctured it. So the gas is leaking out. And what happens when the gas is leaking out? Yeah, the balloon is getting all squished and, it starts to shrivel and fall down. It's almost like, somebody squished all the energy out of it. And that's how you feel. And when you feel that way, it's okay. It's okay. Now, at this point in time, you can also show them some videos of famous failures, like, for example, the post-it notes that we use, the sticky notes. That's a perfect example of something that didn't go right, but became its own product nonetheless, right? It was a failure. The company 3M was trying to make a glue which was supposed to be much stronger, and it turned out to be a very weak sticky glue, and they ended up making sticky notes. So there are many other famous examples like that. Think about NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Agency of the in America. Premier, esteemed organization when they were, just beginning and this whole space race was going on. Comprising of the best talent you can imagine, right? The scientists, physicists, engineers, mathematicians, and so on and so forth. And even then, they had to go through numerous failures, trials, and errors before they could achieve success of, taking people, humans, up to the space and landing them on moon. So it's very important to let the children know that it's okay and things are still fine and doing it upfront. So failures are okay, and the feelings that come with those failures are also normal. Hey, now that you have watched this or heard what I just shared, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. And also, depending on which platform you're on, go ahead and give me a 5-star rating or like and comment. And also share this resource with your friends and relatives so that they can also get their hands on all this valuable information that I'm sharing. Now, one more thing, I am giving away my 7 C's blueprint for raising successful children. So if you have not gotten a copy yet, go ahead and do that right away. You can go to www.raisingresilientcreators.com. The link is down in the description. So go ahead, click on it and get that resource. It's a very valuable resource that can help you with your priority of getting your children on the pathway towards success. So with that, again, subscribe to the channel and go ahead and get that resource right away.